Welcome back to Maelstrom Gaming Studios. Today we're going to look at 5 power combos from the Tyranid Codex. The veterans of you might already know all 5 of these, but there might be 1 or 2 of them you haven't tried out yourself. Whether you're new to the Tyranid Codex or a veteran, I encourage you to stick around and see what you learn from these tactics. If you like these sort of videos, please like and subscribe so you guys can stay up to date on all of the content we are putting out both for the Tyranid Codex and other armies out there. We have tactics, battle reports, and we'll be coming out with just a lot of fun videos here in the future. Without further ado, let's get into these power combos. So these power combos, we're going to work our way from smallest to largest in here. Our first one is going to be the AP-4 Hormagant. So what you need to accomplish this combo, you're going to want a large block of Hormagants, ideally 30. You want as many of them surviving as long as possible to make the most out of this stratagem or strategy. You're going to need to equip them in a custom Hive fleet of pack hunters and biometallic cysts. With biometallic cysts, your scything talons will go to AP-1. And if you outnumber your enemy with pack hunters, you will now have AP-2 on your lowly little Hormagant. Now, there are 2 stratagems we have to take into effect as well. The first one is going to be aggressive adaptation. This is where if a Hormagant unit or any infantry unit kills an enemy unit in the fight phase, you can use this for 1 command point. For the rest of the game, that unit, our Hormagants, are going to have an additional AP-1, bringing them up to an AP-3. If that wasn't crazy enough, we now have 1 more stratagem, Feral Instincts, which you use every fight phase for 1 command point. This will allow your Hormagants to gain yet an additional AP-1, bringing your little Hormagants to a massive AP-4. So, how you accomplish this in game? Very simple. You've got your big blob. So they're already AP-2, so you want to get them up the board. Maybe charge a chaff unit, something small, something easy for them to deal with. You'll probably lose a bunch of them to combat. Maybe you'll lose a bunch to shooting, Overwatch. If you have 2 of these units, then that's even better because now your opponent has to pick and choose which one he's going to go after. Kill that small chaff unit. Bam, AP-3, now you use 1 command point. And then, well, even if you need to, you can go AP-3 with Feral Instincts to start and then move up to AP-4. It all determines what you're up in combat against. Finally, at AP-4, you can go after the mighty Terminator. And as long as they don't have a Storm Shield, bring them to their 5 up invuln save. Anything else that doesn't have invuln save, you guys are going to be chopping through their armor. So now, let's get into another fan favorite, at least it used to be. Now it's fallen off a little bit. We're going to look at these super speed Kraken Gene Stealers. So what you need? Kraken Gene Stealers, ideally blocks of 20 of these. You need a Swarm Lord also in the Kraken detachment. And you can make use of a stratagem, the Opportunistic Advance. It's 1 command point. How do you make these Gene Stealers super fast? You first start by moving and advancing your 3d6 picks the highest with Kraken. Then, if you need to, use Opportunistic Advance to double your advance. So ideally you're hoping to roll, 4, 5, or 6 with your 3 dice, take your highest. So let's just say you max out because we're going to see just how fast these can go. So 6 goes to 12. That gives you right off the bat a 20-inch movement. Don't swing them all up. You want to keep some behind in range of your Swarm Lord, because then in the shooting phase, Swarm Lord is going to use his Hive Commander, and you are going to move up the board again with these Gene Stealers. So now you can move another 8, and you can advance another 3d6, pick the highest. Hopefully you get another 6 here. You're looking at a 34-inch move already, and you have yet to charge. Now, you've got a 2d6-inch charge. Can you get a 12? Maximum distance, if you get that 12, is 46 inches. you can clear the entire table edge in 1 turn. But if you get to go first, you have your pick of the litter of what you're going to charge, ideally. Now, okay, we can say you're not really going to get your 12-inch charge, and maybe you're not going to get 6 inches on both of your advances. I think with 3d6, you are very likely to get 5 or 6 on both of your advances. Let's just say 5 on both of your advances. That's huge, and then you can average a 7-inch charge. So, okay, instead of a 46-inch move, you're looking at like a 38 to 40-inch movement just in 1 turn. That is how the super speed Kraken Gene Stealers work. And then if you're Kraken, tie something up, your next turn, fall back and charge again. You got 2 units, let Swarmlord do another thing. Now we're gonna look at the next one, moving up in size. I like to call these the Beefcake Tyrant Guard. So what you need for these Beefcakes are a unit ideally of 6 Tyrant Guards. Some people may say, oh, you only want 5 because of Blast. I don't think Blast is your enemy in this at all. There aren't many weapons apart from a few plasma weapons where Blast is really going to scare you. If that's in your local meta, then maybe stick it down to 5-man squads instead of 6. But in most all-comers, I would be okay running a 6-man unit of these. So 6 Tyrant Guard, and in the Hormagant detachment, I would upgrade maybe half of them with Crushing Claws just so they can actually deal a little bit of a punch back. Their Scything Talons aren't going to do that much, but you know what, the Crushing Claws, they're fine. You have to hit on 4s instead of 3s, but you D3 damage and you got a AP -3 on them, so I'd stick with that. Then use Adaptive Physiology on these bad boys to ignore AP -1 and 2. One of the ones we use on any unit if we want to beef them up. So how this works, here, do not advance your Tyrant Guard because then you lose your cover from Hormagant. So if these guys just walk forward, and they've got a nice, very modest, I believe it is 7-inch movement, it might even be 8. But you move these guys forward 7-8 inches, then you're looking at a cover save, so a 2+ save because they have a base 3 up, and you're ignoring AP -1 and 2. Your toughness 5 already, so bolters are going to be ineffective. Bolters are going to do nothing to these guys because they're wounding you on 5s, and they're going to be doing no AP shots to you, 2-up saves. Yeah, heavy bolters get a little bit worrying because they're going to wound you on 4s, but we don't care about the AP. They are 2 damage. These guys are 3 wounds apiece, so that's all right. This is really how you're going to use these guys in game. They are a huge distraction threat. People are going to see these guys, they're like, I don't know what to do with them. How do I kill them? I got to focus fire them. And really, they're not that many points. They're just over 200 points, maybe just over 250 points for a unit of 6. And they can sit on objective. Sure, they're not objective secured, but they can sit on objective and do fine. If they're shooting at these guys with the big anti-tank weapons like las cannons and multi-meltas, then your big bugs aren't being shot at, which is a great day for any Tyranid player. And like I said, you want to put some Crushing Claws, so if you do get into close combat, the Crushing Claws can actually fight back. These guys would do great going after, you know, some frontline heavy intercessors or anything like that. Because once they're locked in combat, now they're toughness 5 and ignoring AP -1 and 2. Sure, they don't have the 2-up save because they don't have cover, but they are still very tanky. And I love my Beefcakes. Another fun one, the Maximum Regening Haruspex. So everyone knows that this thing is just, it's fun. It's not competitive, but it is fun, at least in my opinion. So what you need to make this work, you need a Haruspex. As so, you need to give him the Accelerated Digestion Adaptive Physiology. So this works as every time he kills a model, he heals a wound up to 3 per turn, not battle round. That is key, it's 3 per turn. Meaning in one full battle round, you could heal 6 wounds from this. But in one turn, 3. You give him a custom Hive fleet, you give him metabolic regrowth, so he heals another wound at the start of each of your turns, and you give him Prey Sight, so he's +1 to hit after he charges. And we all know the Haruspex is kind of weak as in he only hits on 4s, and you got to be killing models to get your wounds back. So Preysight helps a ton with the Haruspex. If you really have to heal up some wounds, Rapid Regeneration is a very overpriced stratagem in the Tyranid Codex, but sometimes you need to use it, and that'll let you heal D3 wounds at the end of the movement phase. So, how does this work? How does this regen so many wounds? Start of your turn, you heal 1 wound with Metabolic Regrowth. Then if you need to, heal another D3 with Rapid Regen. We'll say, you get probably 1, knowing the way dice work, but if you get 2 or 3, great. Now you get that Haruspex into battle, and if he kills 3 models, it could be Guardsmen, they could be Terminators. If he kills 3 models, he heals 4 wounds. 3 for Accelerated Digestion, and 1 for his own built-in rule, which is as long as he kills 1 model in the fight phase, he heals a wound. This, if you can pull all of this off, which in some cases it's pretty hard, and if your opponent knows about it, they might target him to pieces. However, if you can pull this off, you can heal maximum of 8 wounds per your turn, or in a full battle round, 12 wounds. He only has 13 wounds to begin with. But if you can get it in there, then man, you can heal him up from 1 wound all the way to 12. And it's just, if your opponent doesn't have, 12 multi-meltas, what everyone has nowadays to deal with him, getting him all the way down to 1 or 2 wounds, and then seeing him just come all the way back up to full health can be insanely demoralizing for your opponent. You might feel bad, but it's a Haruspex, so you're not going to be feeling bad. You're going to be laughing all day when this works. One of my favorite on the list. And now for the final one, the mighty infamous damage 8 Hive Tyrant. This one requires an extensive amount of upgrades and powers and everything to get off, but we're going to work through them step by step here for you guys. So first you need a Hive Tyrant with the Lash Whip Bone Sword, and this Hive Tyrant needs to be Behemoth. Then you give him the relic, the Reaper of Obliterax. What the Reaper of Obliterax does is double damage on 6 pluses. 6 pluses key, we'll get to that, but we are currently in old codex, so we get to make use of some of the old rules that other armies can't right now. Then we give our Lash Whip Bone Sword the benefits of Murderous Size. So now this Bone Sword is damage 4 base, damage 4. It is now strength 7 on a Hive Tyrant instead of an abysmal strength 6. And it's AP minus 3 instead of the AP minus 2 in what you struggle with when you take a normal Lash Whip Bone Sword. You're going to have to give them Toxin Sacs. So this, on a roll of a 6 plus, it does an additional damage. And why I'm being keen on this 6 plus thing is because you can now, thanks to Blood of Ball, give himself Unstoppable Hunger, which is the Behemoth specific psychic power. This Behemoth specific psychic power is +1 to wound. Most codexes nowadays, all of their rules are unmodified rune rules of 6. Score your additional hits or whatever effect takes into place. Tyranids are an old codex, therefore we can abuse some old rules. +1 to wound means your Toxin Sacs go off and your double damage goes off on the rolls of 5 and 6, which is huge. It doubles your chance to get this damage 8 hit in. Then the last piece, which you're going to use all the time when you're swinging with this Hive Tyrant because you want to guarantee the number of wounds you get through, is Voracious Appetite for 1 CP to re-roll failed wound rolls. Failed, we are an old codex, so it is failed. So how this works, Warhammer 40k is a little confusing with their order of operations in terms of multiplying and dividing. On a math basis, it makes perfect sense, but rules-wise and kind of narratively, it doesn't exactly make sense. So your Bone Sword is damage 3, Murderous Size makes it damage 4. So you cast Unstoppable Hunger on your Hive Tyrants, now you're on 5s to get the Reaper of Obliterax off and Toxin Sacs. So you have damage 3 times 2 for 6, +1 for toxin sacks, and +1 for murderous size. So if you get these swings in, they are a whopping damage 8 at AP -3. Damage 8 is insane on a Hive Tyrant. Now granted, the Hive Tyrant with this loadout only has 4 attacks. So you're going to be hitting on 2s, and then you're going to be wounding most things with your +1 to wound on 3s or even 2s. 2s, 3s, 4s, whatever you're up against. Going against a vehicle like a scary Redemptor Dreadnought, now they reduce damage by 1. So going up against a Redemptor Dreadnought, you're going to need 2 of these wounds to go through at AP -3. That'll be 14 damage. That is enough to cleave a Redemptor in half. And with that, just about any other vehicle. This thing actually is really good at going up against those big vehicles, those big units that are toughness 8. Because at toughness 8, you're going to be wounding them on 5s or 6s, +1 with your Unstoppable Hunger. So 4s, 5s, and 6s against a toughness 8 unit, which gives you more chances to miss, but more chances to re-roll and get more 5s and 6s. It's a weird balance, but this guy is really your anti-tank or anti-big boy shot. If he had more attacks, I would put money on him going toe-to-toe with Mortarion, but him just only having 4 attacks, you have to have a perfect roll, and your opponent has to have a miserable roll in order for that to go off. Those are 5 of my favorite Tyranid Power Combos right now, and all of you, whether you're new, you're old veteran, I highly suggest you try these out before we get a 9th edition Codex later down the year, because I can guarantee, apart from maybe the Hormagants, I don't think Hormagants and maybe the Haruspecs, I don't think these stratagems or these strategies are going to work in 9th edition Codex. I don't know. We'll have to see. Only time will tell. But for the time being, please try all of these out. They are so fun when you can get them to succeed. Have you tried any of these combos? Have you had them succeed? Do they always fail for you? Let me know down in the comments. And if there are any other combos I missed, also put those down in the comments. I'm curious. I've looked through a bunch and none others really stood out to me. But if there's something I missed, let us know so everyone can learn of how these combos can work and we can better use the Hive Mind to our advantage. If you like these shorter and not necessarily competitive tactics videos, but more just geared around having fun with your Tyranid units, please like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what other codexes you want us to check out. We're definitely going to branch out to more than just the Tyranids in the future. But we want to hear from you what you guys want as well. With that being said, thanks for watching and have a great day.